Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. I thought I'd make this video. When you're putting your rocker arms, make sure that you have clearance on your stands. As you can see, we have zero clearance there. And we have quite a bit here. And originally these were rubbing, so I clearanced them a little bit. As you can see, it's a little tighter right there. So as far as the tracking goes, sorry about that. As far as tracking goes, we can move it over a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. And I'll show you how we're gonna do that. So being these are used, and I don't know the history on them, and I don't know if they've ever been rebuilt, and I don't know a heck of a lot about anything other than this engine showed up in the shop and it's here, so we got to straighten this out. Now this isn't a big deal, and I thought that the fasteners were rubbing on the body, which they were, and I shouldered them, and that was part of the problem, but that's not all the problem. So we're going to take care of that. I'm going to take this rocker off now. I'm waiting for the repair roller bearings for this one here. But basically we're going to press the bearing in the rocker arm, and we're going to move it. And I'm going to show you how I do that. We'll take this off. There is a little room here to wiggle it, but it's still not enough. I'd like a little bit more because there could be some side loading, a little bit of deflection. It's not a very big cam. It's a hydraulic roller. It's not like it's got 1,000 open pounds of pressure and over 350 on the seat, but we still want to make this right. We don't want stuff rubbing inside the engine, making aluminum or aluminum, metal, anything. You don't want that. We can avoid it. We're going to do it. And on some of these rocker arms you can see it. So we'll get going on fixing this one here. So I got my replacement bearing for my other rocker arm, and you can see how much it was rubbing on the sides. And I thought that was some of the fastener, but there's more to the story, and we found out. So I'm going to show you how I press this in, and this one I'm going to move a little bit. Of course, we're going to take the clips off before we try pressing it, and you can see that this one was rubbing. So I'm not saying it was Jessel's fault. I don't know. They're used, so they could have been this way, or somebody replaced the bearings in them and rebuilt them once. These clips are kind of a bugger to get out. We'll try it one more time. Yeah. This one side usually easier to get off than the other. We only have to take one side off. Like that. They call them Christ clips for a reason. Okay, now you're going to want something to drive this with, and I've got just the thing. It's actually a socket. So what I got is a socket that I turned down a long time ago. I guess I needed more clearance, but it actually fits in there perfect. So we're going to put it in the piston vise. We're going to put it in there like that. I'm just going to give it a little bit of pressure. And I'll stop there, and I'll put the axle through it, I should say. and check it again and make sure that it's centered. So I'm looking down the center of it, and I can tell from one side, I just moved it to the other side, that I still got some room. So I can kind of eyeball this and get an idea. You can see that I'm going to move it a little bit more. And you want to push on the outside diameter of the housing, without hitting the actual rocker arm housing. You don't want to gouge that. Okay, so we moved it a little bit. We'll check it again. You want to check, make sure your bearing turns freely after you do this. So we have, I'd say we're pretty good. Pretty good. We'll check it here. We'll actually put it on the engine. So now we're going to attempt to put the new bearing in the old rocker by using the piston vise. And make sure we're pushing on it squarely till we get it going. Okay, we got it in there. We didn't disturb any of the needles. They're still have the factory grease on them. You can see we're going to have to push it a little further. Get up my handy dandy modified socket here. And carefully push on it. Make sure she's centered. Stop right there. We're going to go over a little bit. You can see, split the difference. We'll, of course, make sure that how it fits on the engine. If we have to move it a little more one way, we will. I think I'm going to take it down just a little bit more. There. I'd say that's pretty good. So now we'll check these. So you can see now we have some gap between the stand and the rocker arm, and the bolts look really good. And I'm going down and I'm looking at them all, and there's all enough clearance there to be all right. So everything looks good, and we're all finished up on this job. Thank you for watching.